Let's dive right into a really fascinating text today. Intentions for Self-Fulfilment by Sophia M. What makes this third installment in the Worldwide Well Wishes series so incredibly compelling is how it unpacks the actual concrete science and the daily practices behind truly fulfilling our goals. It totally bridges the gap between those hopeful little promises we make to ourselves and the biological realities of how we actually change.
Our explainer today follows a brilliant scientific blueprint. We're going to move through 5 distinct steps: the science of transformation, crafting your future self, sustaining growth through rituals, touchstones, and support networks, and finally, progress over perfection.
Okay, Section 1, the science of transformation, specifically wiring the brain for growth. We're starting here because personal growth isn't just some whimsical endeavor. It is deeply rooted in our biology.
For decades, mainstream science actually believed that adult brains were essentially set in stone by the time we hit our mid-20s. Crazy, right? But the discovery of neuroplasticity totally shattered that idea. Think of your brain like a bustling city grid. When you practice a new habit, you are literally paving a new highway. Your neural circuits are highly malleable. They're actively rewired by your daily thoughts and behaviors. Every single time you practice a new skill, you are physically forging brand new pathways in your mind.
And then, deep within the brainstem, lies the reticular activating system, or the RAS. Think of this as your brain's selective bouncer. Every second, millions of bits of sensory data hit your brain. If you had to process all of it, you'd be completely overwhelmed. But when you write down your intentions, you're essentially handing your RAS a VIP list. It suddenly starts filtering out the background noise to highlight the exact resources and opportunities you need. It's exactly why you decide you want to buy a specific model of a car, and then suddenly you see it absolutely everywhere. Your brain is now primed to find exactly what you've told it is important.
Moving right along to Section 2, crafting your future self and the power of specificity. Because look, knowing the brain can change is only half the battle. We actually have to give it the right instructions.
See, the brain thrives on absolute clarity. Vague goals, like just saying you want to lose weight, well, that's like trying to navigate a ship in a really thick fog. Your prefrontal cortex simply doesn't know what to do with that lack of direction. But when you upgrade that desire to a SMART framework, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, everything changes. Saying, I will lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks through a plant-based diet and 30 minutes of daily exercise acts as an executable set of instructions. The fog lifts, and your mind finally has a concrete roadmap to follow.
And by documenting those specific steps, you trigger what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Have you ever had a catchy tune stuck in your head or felt inexplicably agitated leaving a puzzle half-finished on the table? Yeah, that is the Zeigarnik effect in action. Your brain absolutely hates unfinished business. By laying out clear, specific milestones, you create this deliberate psychological tension. It establishes a mental loop that basically compels you to take action and seek closure, practically propelling you toward your goal.
So how do we maintain this momentum? This brings us to Section 3, sustaining growth through rituals and anchoring the day.
If you find this analysis valuable, please like and subscribe to Knowledge Lighthouse to help us bring more truths to light. All right, so one incredibly grounding morning ritual outlined in the text is the body scan meditation. You begin by simply using your breath as an anchor to ground yourself in the present moment. From there, you slowly and deliberately scan your attention all the way from the top of your head down to your toes. You aren't trying to fix anything here, you're just observing sensations without judgment, consciously releasing tension on every single exhale. Finally, you expand your focus to full body awareness. This simple practice pulls you right out of a rushing, anxious mind and drops you into physical reality, cultivating that calm, centered presence you need for a highly intentional day. Beyond stillness, the book highlights the profound impact of mindful movement. Because your body isn't just a vehicle carrying your brain around, right? It's intricately linked to your emotional state. Engaging in physical rituals, whether that's yoga to build a mind-body connection, the slow flow of Tai Chi to master your balance, an intentional walking meditation, or even the emotional release of dance therapy, these all serve as a deep medium for self-discovery. These practices really prove that movement is often the absolute best medicine for a cluttered mind.
As we navigate our growth, we need external anchors too. That is the focus of Section 4, touchstones and support networks, our reminders of purpose.
Willpower alone is a finite resource. That's exactly why we're so deeply influenced by our environment, and why you really need to construct an ecosystem of support. This means surrounding yourself with touchstones. Maybe it's totems from nature, like a specific rock or plant, that remind you of resilience.
It could be daily mantras that completely reframe your mindset the second you wake up, or uplifting music playlists that immediately trigger positive visualization. When you combine these powerful cues with a human support network of mentors and peers, you build a massive safety net of mutual accountability. You really don't have to transform alone. Finally, we reach our last section, progress over perfection and the transformation continuum. To sustain this journey over an entire lifetime, we have to fundamentally shift our mindset regarding the end result. The book distills this beautifully, stating, embracing transformation as a continuum allows individuals to appreciate the beauty of becoming, the joy found in the journey itself. We just have to drop the paralyzing illusion of the perfect ending. Rigid expectations literally only breed frustration when reality inevitably shifts. By allowing flexibility and treating your growth as an iterative process, you stop waiting for some imaginary finish line and start celebrating the daily milestones.
Because transformation is definitely not a destination. It's a lifelong continuum. So as we wrap up this exploration of science, psychology, and spirit, I want to leave you with one final question to reflect on. Are you ready to finally step away from the exhausting illusion of perfection and embrace the dynamic, ever-evolving narrative of your own becoming?
For the complete deep dive, own the paperback. Get your high-quality paperback edition on Amazon via the link in the description. Add it to your collection today. Please share this video and check the description for more.